Hi, this is St Andrews in Scotland. They call it the home of golf, but don't worry, we're not here for that. We're here for the launch of the Triumph Trophy 1200. We're going to ride the bike in the Highlands tomorrow, then as a bonus we're going to ride it back to Triumph's factory at Hinckley in Leicestershire. The Trophy is a completely new bike, created from the ground up as a tourer. It was developed alongside the Tiger Explorer that was released earlier this year. Most of it's new, including the aluminium frame, but the two bikes share their 1215cc 3-cylinder engine. It has twin cams, 12 valves, makes 132 horsepower. There's a slightly taller top gear than the Tiger for more relaxed cruising.
The aim was to make a luxury tourer, really comfortable bike that you can cover a lot of distance on, but one that is fun to ride, feels like a Triumph. It's got the 3-cylinder character in the engine, but also that intuitive light handling. We looked at the Pan-European, the RT, and the FGR 1300 were just back in 2007. Those are the three bikes you look at. And as we always do, we evaluate them all, work out what's the best bits of all the best bikes and try and beat all the best bits of all the best bikes.
Styling's perhaps not the most original Triumph has ever done, but it's designed for weather protection. It's got big mirrors and an electronically adjustable screen, which has a good range and is also clever enough to remember where it was when you turn the bike off. There's adjustable seat as well, and panniers, a standard fitment, 31 litres, both big enough for a full face helmet. And the Trophy comes in two models, standard one, and these are the SE, which come with electronically adjustable suspension and stereo system as standard. Our launch was in Scotland, St Andrews on the east coast, and going up into the Grampians in the Highlands, then riding back down to Hinckley. So this is starting off on the first day, coming away from the lunch stop actually, and first thing you notice about the Triumph when you ride it is for such a big bike, it is really very light, very agile. It doesn't feel that it's 300 kilograms. Just very manoeuvrable, light steering. Although it's reasonably tall seat, there is actually a lower seat option for people with short legs, and you can adjust it. Once you get out of town, the engine's just really nice and smooth and effortless, very, very flexible and torquey. You've always got acceleration, whatever revs you're doing, and it's pretty fast too. Very smooth. And the chassis is impressive. It's, for such a big bike, really light and comfortable as well. The ride quality is good, and on the SE version, which these bikes are, you've got the option to adjust it electronically. So if you're just cruising along, you're in comfort mode, but when you come to some corners, you can turn it up onto the sports setting, and that firms the damping up, and then it really helps you chuck it around. It'll just go around corners very well for such a big bike, and that's a good advantage, and definitely worth thinking about if you're looking at this bike over the standard version, which doesn't have the electronically adjustable suspension. Next morning, surprise surprise, it was raining, which did at least allow the Triumph to show off its fairing, which did a good job of keeping off the rain. Also meant I was glad of the brakes, which have got ABS as standard. It's actually a link system. When you put the foot brake on, it also adds a bit of front brake. Here I am going over the Forth Bridge, very blustery. I was impressed by how stable the bike is. The panniers are actually linked together and move slightly, which Triumph say prevents the forces being put into the chassis, which can cause instability. And here is Gretna Green, where people used to come to get married, and if they weren't old enough to do so in England. It's now a bit of a tourist attraction. So needless to say, got to get out of the way of those pipes, and when you do get some speed up, it's good to be able to put that windscreen up at the press of a button, and it really does make it very quiet behind there, quiet enough to hear the stereo up to a reasonable speed. Here we are going over the river Those are Scottish cows on the right, English cows on the left, into Cumbria, and onto some more good roads. I had a chance to use some of the performance on some good open roads in the Lake District, and again, it's impressed. It's not as fast as something like a K1600, let alone a ZZR 1400, but it's quicker than a R1200 RT, and the performance is all very usable. Excellent open roads, great scenery. Filled up eventually, had done 250 miles, and it's doing nearly 50 to the gallon at a reasonable speed, so that's not bad. And then a bit of a M6 motorway, and again it just demolishes the miles very, very effortlessly. Eventually put up with one of the other guys, and I think he was staying on the motorway in the end, so I turned off onto the A5 and headed across country. This is the A5. Really impressed with the comfort of the bike. It's just very, very effortless, easy to ride, don't get any buffeting, very smooth, and it's just really is a bike you can put in a lot of miles in a day without any effort at all. Here we're coming into Hinckley, and on the left there's the sign, apparently quite new, and why not? And this is the industrial estate where Triumph's factory is. Well, that was almost too easy really. I'm here at Triumph's factory at Hinckley, just done 450 miles down from St Andrews, and I feel like I could easily turn around and ride straight back again. No aches or pains at all. Bike's been phenomenal. Very, very comfortable. It's good adjustability on the screen, plenty of wind protection. It was raining a bit when we left, and barely needed my waterproofs. Very fast, needless to say. It's smooth, very quiet behind the screen, so you can even hear the stereo. Good range, got about 250 miles from the tank, and used about a tank and a half, a bit over that, to get down here, so nearly 50 to the gallon. Very stable on the motorway, even when some crosswinds, but handling in the twisty bits was very, very good, very light for such a big bike. Just a really, really good all-round tourer.